Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Bronco's Gaming World. Bronco here. We're taking a look at Scenario 6. It is Mission 7 of the Dunwich Legacy here for Arkham Horror, the card game by Fantasy Flight Games. This one's gonna be a roller coaster. Like the whole campaign has been a roller coaster ride for uh, for us and our girl Jenny Barnes here, but this one is going to be the proverbial bitch. Um, I don't know how it's going to end, but I got a feeling that there could be an extremely negative result here today. So let's take a look. I had two experience from the last mission. I just swapped some cards out for some things that I thought would potentially help based on my current card pool. Like my card pool's kind of a little bit of a shotgun all over the place, but what I'm going with here is, let me get my screen up here. Is I'm gonna, because I'm pretty much running based on being able to discard resources, use my resource generation to boost my stats. I went and swapped out a manual dexterity for streetwise. I think it was a manual dexterity, and I don't remember what the other card was. One of my event cards that I wasn't using very often for streetwise, and streetwise says I can spend a unlimited actions to spend 2 resources to get +2 knowledge or +2 evade. So both knowledge and evade are very critical in this mission. Um, Looking at how there's going to be a bunch of enemies on this one. There's going to be some pretty crappy treacheries, and you have to be able to investigate in order to actually move forward. So I'm hoping to be able to avoid a lot of the enemies, or if I end up drawing some weapons, just outright fighting them. And we'll see. But this is the deck that we're looking at. There is a good shot that today might be the finale. I feel I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like it very well could be. Um, of the Dunwich Legacy here with our girl Jenny Barnes. If it is, then we're going to move on to next week to the first mission of the Path of Carcosa. I don't know which investigator I might use. I may revert back to Jenny because I do like this whole playstyle with her. If we win this scenario and it doesn't end, because I feel like it might end today, then we'll move on to mission 7 of this campaign, and I know that for certain that is the finale. So here's our deck. Take a look real quick, see what we've got, and we're gonna go off and take a look at the story behind Scenario 7, Where Doom Awaits. Alright, so it says, you awaken to the sound of screeching. Fearing the worst, you grab your equipment and head out into the streets of Dunwich. As soon as you step outside, you sense a foulness in the cold night air, an awful, pungent smell that can scarcely be described, and a heaviness to the atmosphere that makes it difficult to breathe. The citizens of Dunwich have sealed their doors, and the town feels quiet and lonesome. In the distance, a faint glow emanates from a hilltop above the village. You know of this hill from both your interactions with with Zebulon and Armitage's records. It is called Sentinel Hill. The tales speak of satanic rites being performed there, rites in which great ritual pyres lit up the night sky while the ground rumbles furiously below. Flocks of whippoorwills perch on the rooftops of the village around you, watching ominously as you climb inside Zebulon's old and beat-up truck. As you drive towards Sentinel Hill, more screeching fills the sky with an awful pitch that is painful to your ears. Everything you have read and experienced in Dunwich has led to this. If the foul ritual Seth seeks to perform has anything to do with what Armitage and his colleagues prevented several months back, it involves the flavor of an ancient creature, Yog Sothoth. Failing to stop this ritual may spell doom not only for Dunwich but for the entire world. All right, we now need to check our campaign log, and if Naomi has the investigators back, we proceed to part 1. She does not, so we are going to skip to the setup. All right, here's our setup. Setup says gather all cards from the following encounter sets: Where Doom Awaits, Beast Thralls, Sorcery, Bishop's Thralls, Striking Fears, Ancient Evils, and Chilling Cold. These sets are indicated with the following icons. Here's the icons for all of us that are playing with the physical card game sitting at a table. Next step is put the base of the hill, Ascending Path, and Sentinel Peak into play. I'm going to swap my screen over to tabletop so you guys can see my tabletop, and I'll read the rest of the setup here for us so you guys can see what we've got here. All right, so here we've got the base of the hill, Ascending Path, and Sentinel Peak. Right there, kind of built it like it was a hill. It says remove 1 copy of Diverging Path from the game at random. I have done that. Those are over here. There's 3 copies of the 4. I have no idea what they are. Remove 1 copy of Altered Path from the game at random and set the other 3 copies of the Altered Path aside. I play here's Altered Path. They have no idea what any of those are. Set the Seth Bishop aside out of play. Seth Bishop is over here hanging out. He is here. He is. He is out of play. Based on the difficulty level, add the following chaos tokens to the chaos bag. I have added a -3. I'll show you the chaos bag so you can see what we've got here. All right, so I added the -2. I have my tablet. There should be 2 tablets in here. My Elder thing. And I added the -3. So -3 is right there. We'll close and shuffle that. That was nice to see that the first one that would have been drawn was the auto fail. So good thing we at least showed it and took a look at it, and I'll shuffle that up. All right. Let's see what's next here. Depending on the following circumstances, a different version of Act 2 should be used in this scenario. Each other version of Act 2 is removed from the game. Check your campaign log. If the investigators restored Silas Bishop, use Act 2. We did not restore Silas Bishop. If the above is not true, check the campaign log. And if the investigators failed to recover the Necronomicon, or if the Necronomicon was stolen, use Act 2. No, we own the Necronomicon. We have it. So we are going to use Ascending the Hill 3. So we have Ascending the Hill. Oops. We do have Ascending the Hill 3 right here. All right, so we have the Path to the Hills Act 1A, and we're going to use Ascending the Hill version 3 as our the one we get to use. So check the tech campaign log for each brood of Yogg Sothoth that escaped into the wild. Add 1 doom to the agenda. We had 1 escape into the wild, so we have 1 doom up here. Check the campaign log. If the investigators put Silas Bishop out of his misery, the remnants of the creature's body have mutated and grown at Sentinel Hill. Put 1 conglomeration of spheres enemy from the hideous abominations encountered set into play at the Ascending Path, and shuffle the rest of the set into the encounter deck. I have shuffled the rest of the set into the encounter deck, and here is the conglomeration of spheres. So shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards to build the encounter deck, and we're off to the races, folks. That is the setup for this awful, awful mission. Oh, all right. Let's go read our agenda. Calling forth the old ones. That does not sound good. As you approach Sentinel Hill, you hear ancient Latin rites bellowed across the night. The time for action has come. If you cannot stop the sorcerers in Dunwich, who knows what terrors they might unleash upon the world. And then our Act 1A is A Path to the Hill. A vibrant arcane energy fills the air with a bone-rattling chill. The energy swirls along the crushed trail before you and seeps down several other pathways before disappearing. The objective on our Act 1A is when the investigators have collected the requisite number of clues, they must immediately spend them in advance. All right, let's take a look at our locations. Here we have the base of the hill. We'll flip that over. This is the base of the hill. It's a Dunwich location on Sentinel Hill. The long slope of Sentinel Hill rises before you, cresting in the jagged edges of Sentinel Park. And then as it's revealed, it's still a Dunwich Sentinel Hill location. There's a shroud level of 3. It says the base of the hill is connected to each copy of Diverging Path. Spend an action to investigate. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, put a random set-aside Diverging Path into play. Limit once per round. And then we can just straight up resign. This is more than I signed up for. Again, my favorite part of this game. A lot of times you can just say, the hell with it, before you even get the ball rolling. All right, we have a Ascending Path. It is a Dunwich Sentinel Hill location. The path leading further up the hill is masked. You cannot move onto Ascending Path. When you try to follow the path leading further up Sentinel Hill, you somehow end up walking in a perpetual loop. Each time you stop to find your bearings, you find yourself back out at the base of the hill again. Cool. And then Sentinel Park says, as an additional cost to move to Sentinel Peak, the investigators must spend 2 clues They spend 2 clues as a group. An arcane wall blocks the path further up the hill leading towards the peak. All right. So there is that is the hot mess. Here is our Where Doom Awaits Chaos Bag token card. So the tablet is poor. The Elder thing is awful because it can discard the top 2 cards of your deck. X is the total printed cost for those discarded cards. It is possible to flip a bunch of it is possible that you could flip skills that don't have anything, so that might work out okay. The -2 from the tablets is poor. -4 if it's Agenda 2, so if you flip those late, that's bad. The cultist reveal another token and cancel the effects and icons of each skill card committed to this test. That's brutal. So yeah, the cultist reveal is absolutely terrible. The skull isn't too bad. -3 if you're at an altered location, so if you're on the altered paths, that's poor. All right, let's take a look at what the game decided to give us for our opening hand. Opening hand is Perception. We got our guns. Holy crap, I got all my guns. All right, so I've got Jenny's Twin 45s. I got the Derringer. We got Hard Knocks, that's good. And a Blade. All right, so we're going to mulligan here. Let's take a look in. We really want Arcane Studies. If we get Arcane Studies or Streetwise, we'll be in good shape. The Blade, the Derringer. Perception's nice. All right, I'll do the Blade and the Derringer. So here we go. Swap those out, and we get an Overpower and an Unexpected Courage. All right. We start here at the base of the hill. All right, folks, we're ready to rock and roll. I'm going to turn back on the background music. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but we'll put it up there. Okay, so first turn. I think right out of the box, I have to kind of take a hard look here because the Conglomeration of Spears, he's a dick. He's got 1 fight, 6 hit points, and he's a 4 to evade, so he's hard to get away from. He's a hunter, so he's going to follow me around, and he does 1 damage and 1 horror hit every time he attacks. The real tough part with him is that after you perform an attack against the Conglomeration of Spheres using a melee card, you discard it. So that's part of why I discarded my Switchblade, because there's no way I'm going to hit him once and it's going to go away. And there is another one of him in the encounter deck, so it is possible that even if I defeat this guy, he's going to show up again. Now I could hang out gear up and just try to fight this guy. Like actually put my twin 45s out and hope that I find like my contraband so that I can kind of reload and just kill this guy, because the twin 45s, I get a +2 to fight, and I do 2 damage, so I could fight 3 times and kill this guy, which would be preferable. Makes him go away. And the deck is 46 cards, so there's a real low chance that I'd actually see him come back again. The timer does get, it's long, it's 12. I know that there's a handful of things that can accelerate it, but I'm apt to actually hang out here, put a pile of bullets in my gun, and hope that I can find something, knowing that he's going to come and hit me once and there's nothing I can do about it. The only thing I could do would be to try to investigate, move, and then my last action load up. And I might actually do that. I think I am going to do that. So there we go. We're going to investigate here. I'll use my perception. I will discard perception, giving me a skill of 5 against a shroud of 3. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Chaos bag says a skull. Skulls -1, so we succeed. So we have found, I'll put a path here. We have found one of the pathways, a short path, and we'll just put him up here. We'll lock that so it doesn't spin around. And I'll take the middle one. I don't know what it is. So action 1. Action 2, I will move to that location. That way when he hunts, he comes here. Diverging path is a Dunwich Woods location. A path off the beaten trail leads deeper into the woods surrounding Sentinel Hill. Destroyed path. Forced. After you reveal destroyed path, place 1 doom on it. So it has been revealed. So there's our doom. Investigate. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, remove 1 doom from the destroyed path. That sucks. Getting rid of a doom is nice, but that doesn't help me as much as I would have liked. All right, so 1 action was to investigate. The second action was to move to the destroyed path. I'll put him here, so I'm hoping to be able to bum rush this guy. My last action, I am going to play my guns, and I am going to spend all 5 of my resources. And I am just going to move them all right here. And hope I find my contraband card so that I can reload them. Being able to get rid of that enemy would be really nice, though. Oh, and I do get to draw a card for being successful with my perception, so there we go. All right, that's my 3rd action. That is going to end my turn. They are 2 towards completing the first part of the agenda. The enemy's phase says he's a hunter, so he will move 1 location closer to me, so he moves there. The conglomeration of spheres is just milling on down the road. And we are ready for the next round. Draw a switchblade. That'll help us out a good bit if we run out of bullets in our gun. And the evil of the Mythos gives us a Rights Howled. The Hex Revelation, discard the top 3 cards of each investigator's deck. Each investigator at an altered location shuffles each weakness in his or her discard pile into his deck. So I am not at an altered location. I am not. So we will just dump the top 3, which tells me that there is the awful cards in there that say if your deck runs out, you just die. So cool. We appreciate that. All right, that's the end of the Mythos phase. So that's back to us. Discard that. Okay, so there's a Doom token here, but there is no clue, which sucks. That means that I have to go to the other 2. I have to go find the other 2. All right. There's nothing I can do to kill this guy this turn. I will have no choice but to take 1 attack from him. There's just nothing I can do about it. The only thing I could do is actually evade him, which I think I'm just going to try to fight and kill his ass. Running away from him isn't going to do me any good. All right, so we move one. He will engage us when we enter his area, and we're going to fight. So here we go. Discard one. Gives me a fight of 5. Still here. Give me a fight of 5. Against this fight of 1. So unless I don't even think there's the only thing that could come happen would be the auto fail or the elder thing. Otherwise, I think we just start capping this guy. 1, 2, 3. Elder sign. Elder sign for Jenny says I get +2 because I get +1 for each resource. So boom, fire. It does 2 damage. Boom, boom. And I'm going to fight him again. And here we go. Bang, bang, bang. -1. We got him a second time. So he's close to dead. That is my third action, though. So that is the end of our turn. He will fight us, and he will do 1 damage and 1 horror hit. And there's nothing I can do to stop either one of those. Again, I have 1 physical trauma and 2 mental trauma. So I just started the game with 2 there and 1 there, and I can't go below 2 or below 1. And if at any point in time I reach 8 and 7, then Jenny is taking a nap. She's done. Okay, that is the enemy's turn. He is technically exhausted, so we will exhaust him, though he is still engaged with us. That is the end of the round, so he will ready. We will put a doom on the calling forth the old ones. Oh, hell yes, contraband. Holy crap, that is huge. All right, and here comes the Mythos card. Obscuring fog. Attached to your location, limit 1 per location. The attached location gets shroud +2. That freaking sucks. Holy cow, is that terrible for us. Okay. So that goes right there. That makes this a shroud 5. And I have not found my arcane studies or my streetwise. Okay, so that is the end of the Mythos phase. So that is our turn again. Since I don't have, it's funny, I haven't actually put Hard Knocks out yet. I will double the number of ammo or supply tokens on that asset. 2 tokens on that and draw a card. I could get myself back up to 5, or I could just double it. Double it to 6. Does cost me 3 to do that, though. But I need my guns. I know there's a bunch of monsters out here. I know there is. So I'm going to spend the 3. I'm going to do it. I'll spend my 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to double them. So that was... Actually, hold on. I can't do that while I'm engaged. Otherwise, he attack opportunities me. All right. So that might change how we do this. All right. So my first action will be to fight this guy. So we'll fight him. 3, 2, 1. Chaos bag says -1. So he's dead. So we're going to kill him. Bang, bang. Kill them all. Discard this ass. All right. Now I have my 4 resources. So my second action. No bad guys. Take a deep breath. All right. So I am still going to play contraband. 1, 2, 3. And I will put 2 more bullets and draw a card. We find our boy Dexter, Dr. Morgan. So that was 1 to fight. Second action was to play contraband. Third action, I don't really want to spend. I don't want to discard Leo. Getting the extra action is huge. With the Shroud of 5 here, I mean, that is just awful. Like the worst place for it. All right, I'll investigate. I'm going to discard Leo and Unexpected Courage and just hope. And we draw a -1. So we're good. We're up by 1. because it was Shroud 5. We were a uh, knowledge of 3, 4, 5. Leo was 6. So we got it. Get discarded. And we have discovered another pathway. And that gets rid of obscuring fog. So far, so good, guys. New path. We'll just put that right there. We know we're going to need the other one. I'll take the top one. There. So that's our last action. That's all we can do for this turn. Didn't like having to discard Leo, and I don't like that I only have 4 bullets left in my gun. Hopefully we won't find any of the really, really bad enemies again. All right, that's the end of the turn. So we're ready. Draw our card. We get another Hard Knocks. Generate our resources. Put our Doom token. And here comes the evil of the Mythos. Ancient Evils. It's a treachery omen. Revelation. Place 1 Doom on the current agenda if this effect can cause the current agenda to advance. So, pow. All right, it's not 12 yet, so we're good. They're halfway there, though. All right, so this is our turn. The first one will be to move there. Still a diverging path. Path beaten. A path off the beaten trail leads deeper into the woods surrounding Sentinel Hill. Bang! All right, we got Slaughtered Woods. It's a location in the Dunwich Woods. 2 Shroud, 1 Clue is here. Forced. After you reveal Slaughtered Woods, take 2 horror if you have no actions remaining. I do have actions remaining. But we're okay. Because that was my first action, was to go there. The second action is to investigate with a Shroud of 2. I don't have any way to boost mine, so I'm just going to be up by 1 unless I want to discard Dr. Morgan. Don't think I want to do that. So 1, 2, 3. We get a -1 again. We find the second clue, and that means that, or our first clue, excuse me. All right, so move, investigate, our lax action. You know what? I'm going to put Morgan into play. Worst case, he can take some damage for me. What's up, Dexter? Dexter enters the fray here. And that's going to be the end of our turn. We will advance. We've drawn our Dynamite Bomb, which is nice if I have a hunter enemy coming after me. Need to start generating a little more resources, but that's okay. And the Evil of the Mythos gives us Dissident Voices. It's a treachery. Here, Revelation, put Dissident Voices into play in your threat area. You cannot play assets or events at the end of the round. Discard Dissonant Voices. All right. I hear some voices in my head from my psychosis. All right, so I cannot play events or assets. So that's pretty much about everything I got. Event, asset, skill. So I can play my skill card, and asset. So now, all right. The first action will be to move back to the base of the hill, and I will investigate again, looking for another path. I'm straight up here. I can't do anything else. Or do I want to... And we're straight. It's even up. I don't want to burn an action. I don't have to. Drawing cards is a good thing and a bad thing, depending on what comes off the deck here. If I can draw something that might be able to help me investigate, that would be nice. All right, I'll draw a card for my second action. Oh, fantastic flashlight. All right, so I will I can't play the flashlight without losing my guns. So that's actually... I'm just going to discard it then. My thing back. All right, so we'll investigate here. I'm going to just discard my flashlight because I don't want to lose my guns. That's where having that bandolier would have been nice, but I've went through like 5 missions with it and it never came out even one time. All right, so we're at a 4 versus 3. -3, we fail. Cool. We wasted that last action. That sucks. And discarded my flashlight in the process. That sucks. All right, here we go. Advance. Drew a second flashlight. And the Mythos phase says, oh, we get rid of distant voices. Bye-bye. I couldn't play that flashlight last turn anyway. I can't play assets. We get Treachery, Altered Beasts. If there are no Abomination enemies in plays, Altered Beast gains Surge. I'm not going to read the rest of that because it just surges out because we don't have any enemies in play. Here we go. Grip Chill, Revelation, Willpower 4. If you fail, choose and discard one asset you control. If I can't, I would take 2 damage instead. Supernatural Cold threatens to freeze your soul. And I don't have anything to help boost my willpower, and it's a willpower 4. The only thing that can boost my willpower is my dynamite. That would make it even. I guess we'll do that. We'll discard my dynamite to try to make it even. 3, 2, 1. -1, we fail. So bye-bye, Doc. This asset is an asset. Dr. Morgan gets lost in the forest. Lost my dynamite. He took my dynamite with him. We'll discard that. All right, it is our turn, though. I don't like this spot that I'm in right now. Don't want to lose my guns. I've got nothing but the same icons. It's really ridiculous. I actually have more investigate icons on cards in my deck than anything else, and I have one. I will discard my flashlight again and then attempt to investigate to find that last path. Oh, God. Okay. That could be good or bad. It's probably going to be bad. So it says, the other thing says -X, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. X is the printed total cost of those cards. So if they're skills, we're good. If they're not, we're screwed. So first card off is Arcade Studies, so we fail. -2, -8. Cool. We fail. Because an Arcane Studies really hurts too. And Leo. Funny how that is, huh? Like the next cards, I should have just drawn cards, apparently. I will attempt to investigate a second time and even up. +1. Yay, we got it. Okay. We found the last path. Path marker. I'll just put it down. Self out of the way. All right, and we got the final path here. That was action 2 to find that. I will take action 3 to move there. Again, still has the same flavor text. A path off the beaten trail leads deeper into the woods surrounding Sentinel Hill. Boom, here we go. Forced. It is a Dunwich Woods location. After you reveal Frozen Spring, lose the remainder of your actions and immediately end your turn. That's fine, because I didn't have any anyway. All right, so we have found the final clue. Now I need to, well, where the final clue is, but now we need to finish it right here. All right, so that is the end of the Investigator's Fane. Hey, how are you guys doing today? Good to see you guys here. Let's go. Ready for the next round? I'm doing really good. All things considered, really, really good. How about you? We drew the bulletproof vest. Don't know if that's going to help us or not. Good. Good to hear. We're in the middle of getting a beaten here in the mission 6 of the Dunwich Legacy. So far, it's actually been okay, but there's just no way it's gonna hang in there. So, all right, we drew the bulletproof vest, and we are at 9 of the 12 to call forth the old ones. That doesn't sound good. All right, and the Mythos phase is going to give us a another Altered Beast, so it's going to surge because we don't have any enemies in play. And we surge into a Treachery, Rights Howled, Hex. Revelation, discard the top 3 cards of the investigator's deck. Each investigator is an alternate location, shuffles each weakness back into his deck. I am not at an altered location yet. I am in a woods location. So shank the top 3. There goes Dr. Armitage. There goes Overpower. And there goes Perception, all of which would have been nice to have. Dr. Armitage would have been really nice. All right, so that's gonna do that. I have not found the cards that say once my deck runs out, I die yet, which is good. But we'll see. All right, here we go. Our turn. Still don't have any way to boost my ability to investigate, which is frustrating. Let's go. I'm gonna gamble. So last time, this is a Arkham Horror living card game made by Fantasy Flight Games. It is a you can actually play it on a actual board game like in real life. I'm playing on an app called Octagon, which allows you to kind of play it online, or allows me to do like what I'm doing. I'm allowed to stream it this way. Um, the I use like the Arkham Horror card game database to build decks on, and allows you to tell it like what stuff you own, so that you can build decks with only things you own, which is what I've done. It's really cool. I said it's a card game you can play with up to 4 players at a time, which is also nice. I'm solo playing right now, but you can play with up to 4 players, and even here on Octagon, you can play 4 players on Octagon as well, which is kind of cool. Allows me to play with my friends that live in other places from where I am, which is also kind of a neat thing. So yeah, no, glad you came by to check it out. All right, our turn. I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna draw a card. Bingo. All right, so we'll investigate here. So I'll take my first action is to investigate. Shroud of 3. My skill is 3. I'm going to use my unexpected courage that I just drew to increase my knowledge to 5. And the old chaos bag up top here says -2. So playing the unexpected courage gets us the second clue. So we succeed there. And the act over here says as soon as we find the second clue, we must immediately spend them to advance. So we will do that. Here we go. All right. This is a sacrifice made. During your search through the wooded paths around the base of Sentinel Hill, you come across a startling sight. A herd of sheep lays dead upon the ground in the secluded clearing, their bloodied carcasses placed in a strange but careful pattern. Holding your nose against the stench of death, you step over over the mangled sheep on your way to the center of the odd formation. In the center of the sheep lies a corpse of a man. A clear jewel has been firmly pressed into his forehead, caving in the front of his skull. His eyes are wide, his face contorted in a vision of fear, as if beseeching you for mercy. Though you know better, you check for a pulse. As you touch the man's skin, the jewel on his forehead dissolves, and the woods around you seem clear. It says the arcane presence masking the path further up the hill has faded. Reveal ascending path and remove all clues from each location in play. Well, that was creepy as all hell. All right, so it says to reveal ascending path. So we're going to flip ascending path. And ascending path is a Dunwich Sentinel Hill location. Has a shroud of 3. That's the big black circle with the number 3 in it. The shroud is how difficult it is for me to investigate at that location. It says ascending path is connected to each copy of altered path, which I have a bunch of those over here that I have not looked at yet. I can spend an investigate action. If I succeed, instead of discovering clues, put a random set aside altered path into play. Okay. So here we go. All right, that was my first action, or second action, because I drew a card. Second action was to investigate. My third action is going to be to be 1, 2. Mm, mm. I think my third action, I'm gonna play a card. My third action, I'm gonna put a Hard Knocks into play. Play that. And that is gonna be the end of my turn. We're super close to this thing advancing on us, so we gotta be careful. Alright, we're ready. There's no enemies, so the enemies don't get to go. We will advance to the next round. I drew the Necronomicon. Too bad I can't use it with my guns out, and I am not gonna put my guns away. I know that there's a good chance I'm gonna need them. Alright, and then at the beginning of the enemy's turn, I get the Mythos phase where it will deal me this card. Bang! We get a Treachery. It's the spaces between. It's a Hex and a Hazard. It says the Revelation, flip each non-Sentinel Hill location in play to its unrevealed side, removing all clues from it. Each investigator and enemy at a location flipped this way immediately moves to the nearest Sentinel Hill location. Alright, so we get to flip these all over. They all flip. Remove that token as well. They all flip over. And they all get shuffled. I've got a shuffle spot here. Come out there for a second. These get shuffled up. And then put out there. And they get put out there unrevealed. So to a degree, and then I get moved to a safe location. To some degree, it helps us because it got rid of the Doom token on that one location, and I'm not going back to that location unless I have no choice. Let's see. I'm gonna read that one more time. Flip each Sentinel Hill location in play. Oh, I did that wrong. Crap. Yeah, I did it wrong right off the bat. I messed that up. Flip each non-Sentinel Hill location in play to its unrevealed side. Each non-Sentinel Hill location. Those are non-Sentinel Hill locations. I did that right. Each investigator and enemy at a location flipped this way immediately moves to the nearest Sentinel Hill location. Shuffle each non-Sentinel Hill location so the players don't know which is which. All right, so yeah, we did. So they're all shuffled, they're all flipped, they're all gone. So we're good. Okay, what's that? And what is it that you find odd there, Belle? I get that. It's just I'm a pretty basic guy, so I'm not really aiming to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff right now. So I do appreciate the idea and the thought process. All right. Let's see here. All right, so that was the Mythos phase. So it is our turn. I mean, if you have some stuff that you might want to DM me over on Twitter, I might take a look at it, or you can send it to my Discord. But I'm not really looking to do any kind of soliciting or anything during my streams. So if you want to send that stuff direct to me over on Twitter, that would be where I would probably take a look at it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna really do a whole lot more with it during my stream. Thank you, though. I do appreciate it. All right, so that is the end of the Mythos phase. So we're going to go back to our turn. All right, our turn here. First action I'll be to move to the ascending path. Shouldn't be locked. I get DMs all the time on Twitter. It shouldn't be. Like all the time. I get DMs on my Twitter account. Late to the game 06 is my handle over there. Can also DM me on Facebook. Broncos Gaming World over on Facebook as well. Same kind of situation. I'm pretty much all over on all the social media. So if there's something, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to go dig it up right this second. So I do I do appreciate the idea and the offer. All right, anyways, Shroud of 3. We took one action to move there. I will check it out probably when I'm done later today. All right, Shroud of 3. We've got Investigate of 3, or a knowledge of 3. Man, I hate to do it, but I'm not going to get rid of my. I'm not going to get rid of my Necronomicon book. Or I'm not going to get rid of my guns. I know I'm going to need them. I just know it. And as soon as I do it, it's going to go away. You watch. All right, so I'm going to discard an Necronomicon to put me up by 1 to try to find an altered path. Auto fail, cool. Hmm. I am going to. I'm just going to try to straight up investigate. 3. It's an acolyte. I just reveal another token because I didn't put anything towards it anyway. Second action, -1. Nothing I can do there. Third action, I'll just draw a card. It's not. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is where we're stalling out a little bit because I can't find the cards I need to actually help me investigate. Yeah, let me see if I can't find my Discord. Give me a second. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's coming up. We'll get back to what we're doing. All right, so that's the end of our Mythos phase, or our investigator phase. So there's no enemies, so it just jumps right to the end of the turn. We drew a card. 10 of the 12 are up there. The counter deck, we get another spaces in between. So that's I never looked at them, so I'm just going to leave them. It doesn't actually do anything. So good for us, it doesn't do anything. That's the end of that. I still have not found the things I need to help me actually investigate. Man. Let's see if my Discord came up. There we go. Alright, there's my Discord. Anyways, back to the game here. Okay. I'll spend, yeah. Hmm. Okay, here we go. I am going to draw a card. There we go. We found our Arcane Studies, finally. So one action was to draw. Second action will be to play Arcane Studies. Finally. Can't believe I can't find Arcane Studies or Streetwise. Either one would do it. I'll let you guys in on a secret after I'm done playing today on how things have gone with this deck since I made some adjustments to it. Alright, so our third action will be to investigate. Shroud 3, I will spend 2 resources here to give myself +2 knowledge and put us at a 5 versus a 3. And we get a 0, so we have found a path to a found an altered path. We'll put it down there. And we will lock it. And I'll pull the middle one. And that is 3 actions. Draw, play, investigate. 3. Alright, so that's the end of the turn. We will ready for the next round. 1 shy, we get Searching for Izzy, which is absolutely dreadful for us. And she goes on the path farthest away from us. So she ends up over here. That is terrible for us. Absolutely terrible. And the Mythos phase says, Avian Thrall, there he is. We knew those assholes were showing up. So he shows up here on us, and he is engaged with us. So this is why I did not want to get rid of my guns, because I knew assholes like that were going to be out there. Okay, that is the end of the Mythos phase. They have one more step from continuing. This guy's engaged with me, so I have to fight him or evade him. I am going to fight him. I will use my guns to fight his ass right now. I will discard an ammo. And the Avian Thrall is a 5 fight, 4 health, 3 evade. He's a creature monster abomination. If we were playing a multiplayer game and he was hunting, he would go after the person with the lowest knowledge. He is a hunter, so he will follow me around. It says, well, Avian Thrall is being attacked using a ranged firearm or spell asset. He gets -3 fights, so he's actually a 2 fight against me because I'm using my guns. So I am a 5 versus a 2. So I'm up by 3 on him. I don't think I need to do any more than that. 1, 2, 3 from the chaos bag. I'm -2. So we hit him for 2. Bang, bang. I'm going to do it again. Same situation. 0. Bang, bang. Dead. So he goes away. Discard him. My third action will be to move to the Altered Path. Altered Path is location Dunwich Woods Altered. So those cards that say if you're on Altered, this is worse for us. A shiver courses up your spine as you step forth onto the path. Its root is touched by a bizarre and arcane power. Okay. Uprooted Woods. After you reveal Uprooted Woods, discard the top 5 cards of your deck if you have no actions remaining. I don't, so ouch. That's bad. That's real bad. Thank you. I appreciate that, Bella. I'll take a look at it when I get some time later today. Okay, so here we go. That was poor, but it ended up, it is what it is. I need to check something real quick. I want to look at my rules. Mhm. What I'm checking for, because I don't remember off the top of my head, and I'm actually pretty sure that if I end up running out of cards, I don't think I get to shuffle my deck again, but I could be wrong. So I want to check that just to make sure. I do. Okay. So if an investigator with an empty investigator deck needs to draw a card, that investigator shuffles his or her discard pile back into his or her deck and then draws a card. So far we're okay if that has to happen, because I haven't seen the card that comes out that says get fuggered if you run out of cards in your deck. So that's good for us. Now I'm more apt to draw as many cards as I possibly can to get rid of it, or to flip my deck and get it back and going again. Anyways, so that's going to be the end of my turn. Unfortunately, that is going to trigger the calling forth the old ones up here. Here we go. As you explore the paths surrounding Sentinel Hill, the chanting at the hilltop rises to a crescendo and takes an otherworldly quality, reverberating through the trees as if carried by unseen currents. The world begins to change. The grass and trees dissolve like sugar in a cup of tea. A vast, endless sky slices through the reality you see before you, and you feel drawn to it, terrified and awestruck. The arcane power becomes distorted and seeps around you, creating strange alterations in the land. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, and then advance to the next agenda, which is there. I will do this part first, and then I will read the agenda. Go. That up. And this is the final agenda, so we either win or we lose here in the next 10 or so turns. It says Agenda 2A, beckoning for power. The old ones were, the old ones are, and the old ones shall be. Not in the spaces we know, but between them. They walk serene and primal, undimensioned and to us unseen. Yog-Sothoth knows the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the key and guardian of the gate. Past and present and future, all are one in Yog-Sothoth. He knows where the old ones broke through of the old and broke through of old, and where they shall break through again. He knows he knows where they have trod earth's fields, and where they still tread them, and why no one can behold them. Yeesh. All right, so yeah, pretty sure that if I don't succeed here, our buddy Yogg is going to show up, and that can't possibly be good. And if anybody who's seen anything about like Call of Cthulhu or Cthulhu Mythos, Yog-Sothoth, great old one, he's going to show up and eat the world. So we're working against this guy eating the world here. So okay, that is advancing the agenda. We do get an encounter card. Bang! We get Ancient Evils, of course. Let's just hit the accelerator on ending the world. Cool. All right. So that brings it back to us. So it's our turn here. Uprooted Woods says it's a 2 shroud, and there's one clue here. I am up by 1. I will discard a resource to Arcane Studies to put me up by 2. And I will investigate. 3, 2, 1, investigate. I get a +1, so I find a clue here. And I must find 2 clues as a group to advance. Oh crap, I forgot to put my act out there. My bad. Oops. I don't think it matters what my act is, but I will put it up here anyway. It says, ascending the hill. As you ascend the hill, the environment around you grows increasingly strange and otherworldly. The arcane energy feels even stronger here and crackling in the air and crawling on your skin. Clues cannot be placed on non-altered locations. And when I enter Sentinel Peak advance, so yeah, nothing, it didn't do anything. I have to enter Sentinel Peak, and I need 2 clues in order to do so. All right, my first action there was to investigate and find a clue at the uprooted woods. My second will be to move back to the ascending path because I need to find another. I need to find another path. All right, so it's a Shroud 3. I will discard 2 resources. 1, 2. To my Arcane Studies to put me up by 2. And we get it. We find another path. Add a path marker. We'll put it over here this time. There. Take that one. All right, so that is our second action. Or actually, our first action was to move. Our second action was to go there. Our third action was to investigate to find that path. So we are done. So that will advance to the next round. So found my psychosis. Don't appreciate that at all. The psychosis has added psychosis to your threat area. After you take 1 or more horror, I take a direct damage as well. I have to spend 2 actions to get rid of the psychosis, so that sucks. All right, and the Mythos card is Vortex of Time. Revelation. Each investigator at a Sentinel Hill location, takes a willpower 4 test. Each investigator who fails takes 2 damage. Okay? So I would take 2 damage here. I do have the ability to boost against that, so I am at a 3 versus a 4. So I need to discard a bunch or use some cards here to help that. I will be discarding a bunch is what I will do. 1, 2. 2 puts me up by 1, gives me a 5 versus a 4. That's good enough. I drew a -2, so I do take 2 damage. 2. Anytime I take a horror, take 1 damage. So nothing else there. All right, so we discard that. All right, so now we're on to my turn again. So I'm halfway dead on damage and just under halfway dead on horror loss. My first action will be to move to the altered path here. Flip it. What we got? A tear in the path. The location Dunwich Woods altered. Shroud of 3. After you reveal a tear in the path, take 2 damage if you have no actions remaining. I do have an action remaining, so I'm okay. Shroud 3 versus Knowledge 3. I will spend 2 of my resources to boost for Arcane Studies, giving me a 5 versus a 3. And we draw a -2. So we succeed. And then I have to actually get back there and go climb the hill. All right, so we have moved, investigated. My third action will be to move back. And that ends the turn. We drew our other freaking weakness. Gotta love in the bottom 4 cards of my deck, I had 2 of my weaknesses, which was nice, unless Alright, so I take 1 direct horror at the end of my turn, so horror, and because I took a horror, I take a damage, because I'm crazy. That's not good. Alright, Mythos Face says, we get, oh shit, what the hell is this? A Wizard of Yog Sothoth, he's a humanoid sorcerer. Attack 4, 3 health, 3 evade. He preys on whoever has the least cards in their hand, which that's only matters in multiplayer. He is a hunter, so he will chase us around. When the engaged investigator draws a hex or pact card, the Wizard of Yog-Sothoth attacks the investigator. That's poor. That's poor. And he shows up on where we are, so he's on us. And me having these here is real bad. Like, real bad. Really, 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 really bad. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Alright, so, he's on us. I could either run from him, or I might just do. I think I am going to run from him. Because I need to get rid of chronophobia. I have to get rid of it. And I can't spend those actions while he's engaged with me. Okay, so we're going to evade him. I'm going to run. I can use my hard knocks to help with that. Also discard hard knocks, which I probably will do. Alright, so I'm going to discard hard knocks to give me an evade of 4 against his evade of 3. And it's this important, I'm going to put myself up by 3. So I'll discard 3. So I'm at a evade of 6 versus his evade of 3. 6 versus 3. We drew another -2, so he is evaded, so that will exhaust him. Put him back there, and then I am going to run up here. And spend, I have to spend my 2 tokens to run up there. So when we run up there, we flip that. So Shroud 4, 2 clues there. It says force when an investigator at this location draws a hex card, that investigator takes 1 damage. That's terrible. But we did advance to Sentinel Peak, so we get to advance our act. All right, here we go. Approaching the peak of Sentinel Hill, you are confronted by several citizens of Dunwich. The man in the center of their circle is desperately trying to complete the Latin incantation. It's not working, Seth, one of the other men cries out loud. What are we going to do? The man in the center stops his chant and pulls out a cobbler's knife. The father demands a blood sacrifice, he declares, and his face twists into a crazed expression. Before you can react, he slits his left wrist with the knife, dropping to his knees in agony. The headstone of the altar behind him splits open, and a torrent of energy pours out of the stone, coalescing into the form of an open gate. Seth holds on to the stone in front of him to prevent himself from being sucked into the gate, but several of the others are startled and pulled through it. You manage barely to dig your heels in and grab hold of a nearby rock in time to resist the pull of the gate. Seth rises, wounded but alive. An expression of pride spreads across his painted face. Put the set aside Seth Bishop enemy into play at Sentinel Hill with 1 damage on him. Okay. Find Seth here. That's a damage on him. Man, I think we're screwed. We're screwed. We're screwed, folks. Check something else. And we get the act. We proceed to Act 3. So we get the gate opens. It says, from the ruins of the headstone on the altar at the hill's peak, a gateway of churning, vibrant energy has appeared. A force like a hurricane erupts from the gate, bending trees and pulling debris into it. The howling of the gate drowns out all other sound. Somehow you must find a way to close the gate. Objective: only investigators at Sentinel Peak may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. Okay, so we need to spend 2 to advance, and I've got this guy here. And I moved from here. I evaded, moved. That's 2. I have 1 action left. But I will take a horror and a damage. So it would be at 5 and 6. And those would still be there. However, if he attacks me, he's a 1 and 1. He is going to attack me. I can't kill. Oh, can I kill him? I could kill him. And it would be the same. It would be a 1 and 1. Yep. I've got the things to help protect me if I can get a turn to do it. All right, we're going to kill this guy. He's a fight 5. Let's go. We're going to fight. Let's do it. I'm going to pull out my guns. I'm going to shoot his ass. That gives me a fight of 5. I have hard knocks here, and I have some cards I can discard, and I'm going to overpower him. And discard a resource because it's this important to defeat him. That puts me at a fight of 8 against his fight of 5. I'm up by 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, pull. It's another -2. We've drawn like 3 -2s in a row. All right, but we do hit him. That does 2 damage to him. So that will actually kill him because we do 2 damage with our guns. Pow, pow, pow. Down he goes. He's a victory, so he goes into the victory display. I get to draw a card for Overpower, which will help me make sure I don't die. Switch. You gotta be shitting me. 3 Wise shows up at the very back end of all of it. We like that. All right, that is the end of my turn. So Chronophobia says take 1 direct horror, so I will take a horror. Ugh. And because I take a horror, I take a damage. I am close to dead, folks. Okay, that is the end of all things. So we will ready to refresh. That will refresh the guy up there that we evaded. So he will ready himself. No, he does not have a damage on him. And shit. All right, so Avian Thrall shows. That's another enemy at my location. Yeah, see, and this is where it gets ugly because it's. Oh, I am fighting my ass off here, and I just cannot catch a break here from these enemies. As he's going to take me 2 turns to kill. I can evade him and hope I can. I got a shot here. It's going to be close. I got a shot here. All right, so my turn. My first action is going to be I have to evade this guy. I have to do it. I have to succeed at it. I'm going to discard Lone Wolf, Switchblade, putting me at an evade of 5. I'll discard Switchblade again, give me an evade of 6. I'm evading at 6 versus his agility of 3. I'm up by 3. 1, 2, 3. 0. So we got him. So he's evaded. He gets exhausted. And he just sits there. My second action is going to be to investigate here. Shroud of 4. Discard these cards. Actually, I've avoided dying outright to that treachery that says if you have no cards on your deck, you die. All right, so we're going to investigate Shroud of 4 against 3. So I will discard 1, 2, 3 to put us up by 2. It's the best I can do. -1, so we find 1 clue. In the second action, I'm pushing all the chips in. If I get it, I think I win it here. Pushing all the chips in. So 1, discard here, 2, 3, 4. This is everything. I'm either going to die or I'm going to find this clue. So it's a Shroud of 4 against my knowledge of 3, 4, 5, 6. Discarded my last resource 7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. -2. We got it. Whew. Okay, so we got the second clue. I don't need to spend an action for it. It doesn't say that. I can spend the 2 right now. 1, 2. And we flip that card. You don't know how to peer into the abyss. You don't know how to close the swirling gate before you, and with each passing moment, the force from within it grows in strength. You fear that whatever entity the sorcerers have summoned from beyond approaches. With no time to spare, you turn to the open tome on the stone altar, desperate for answers. We get resolution 1. Holy shit. So, if I don't do that, if I don't actually succeed in evading him and doing all that crap and discarding my hand and burning everything I got, at the end of the turn, he's going to show up and move here and do a damage to me and 2 horror, which will kill me. That would I would die. I either would have won here or I die. But we got it. Holy crap, we got it. All right, let's read our resolution 1. Whew. All right. All right, resolution 1. The poorly bound tome appears to be written records of old Watley, the man who taught Wilbur the ancient secrets of sorcery. You find a passage describing a place outside of time and space where worlds converge and Yog-Sothoth dwells. Only by reaching this nexus at the edge of reality can you unmake the tear that has split open the world. Feeling as if you may be going to your doom, you muster a final ounce of courage and step into the gate. In our campaign log, we record that the investigators entered the gate. Ooh, all right, we'll do that. The investigators have entered the gate. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. I think we only had 1, and I don't know if any of the locations had any. I don't think they do. Does this one have it? Oh, it does. We successfully did that. So we gained 3 experience here. Because I think I had, I just clicked off them. I had this asshat in the victory display. Seth Bishop, he is a victory card. So I get 3. I get 3 experience. I can now have 3 experience. On the downside, I get another mental trauma because I did not complete searching for Izzy. So I do suffer another mental trauma, which means my sanity's just shot to hell. I have 3 mental trauma. I start each game with 3 horror on me to start right out of the bat. That's poor. But this is going to be next week. We're going to be next week will be the finale. So yeah, resolution 2 is investigators lose the campaign. I'm not going to say anything else about that because I don't want to do any spoilers for it. But you either win this mission or the campaign ends. So that's how that goes. All right, so next week we are off to Lost in Time and Space, the Scenario 8 mission, or Scenario 7 Mission 8 in the Dunwich Legacy. We'll be running that a week from today at 3 p.m. You will be able to watch the VOD of this game over on my YouTube channel at Broncos Gaming World. And that'll be up sometime today. You can also catch my other VODs for the other streams I do for Marvel Champions and Lord of the Rings, the living card game, on my YouTube channel over at Broncos Gaming World. I will be back on my scheduled stream next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, running the Lord of the Rings living card game, The Breaking of the Fellowship. And then next week we'll be facing against Taskmaster in our Marvel Champions Rise of the Red Skull campaign. I may or may not stream some Overwatch 2 or something at some point in the next few days, evenings. So kind of catch me there. Follow me over on Twitter at Broncos Gaming World, late to game 06. You can sign up on my Discord. There's a link in our chat here for my Discord. And follow me over on Facebook at Broncos Gaming World. I appreciate everybody who's checking